Morning, welcome to the afternoon desk. Today we're joining Jen and Pumps and their friend. I'm not sure what her name is just yet, but so far I've seen a few minutes. It was really funny. It's Tuesday. I'll be right back.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Patriots, gay triots, they triots, black triots, brown triots, and all of the triple trumpers and just pedophile protectors can do what, Pumps? Welcome to I've Had It. Pumps, what have you had it with?
What I've had it with is people's narcissism. This happened. This is a true story. So I ran into a girl at a restaurant that I guess I had been at the same wedding at. I don't remember, but I guess I had seen her there. And she comes up to me and she starts talking about, what did I think of the dress that she had on at that wedding?
Okay.
It was like almost a year ago. Number one, I don't remember seeing her. Number two, I don't remember what I wore to that wedding. Why the fuck would I remember what she wore to the wedding? And she just kept like describing it and insisting it on talking about what she wore and what I thought of it. And I just thought, I have to go. I cannot sit here and entertain a conversation about what you wore. I didn't even remember seeing the person at the wedding, much less what she wore. It's unbelievable, just the daily.
I'm so sorry I just sat in front of you.
You see it in the administration, but just normal people's narcissism, it's just off the chain.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
How long did you stand and talk to her about the dress?
Well, I immediately go, I'm so sorry. I just don't remember. So then she starts describing it. And I was
Hang on, I want a little context here. So she comes up to you, hi, I haven't seen you since the wedding. And you're like, oh yeah, hi, nice to see you. And then she says,
I didn't remember seeing her at the wedding.
What do you think about my dress?
No, then she said, you know the dress that I wore to that wedding? I think that you would look really good in that. And I was just like, what are you talking about?
She was trying to sell it to you?
That's smart.
I didn't think that.
Maybe.
But maybe I just think she wanted to talk about, here's what I think. I think she looked in the mirror before she went to that wedding and was like, you're killing it. You are A++. Nobody looks better than you. And then got to the wedding and she didn't get what she wanted. Clearly she didn't get it from me because 9 months later, she wants to get it from me. But I was just like, first of all, I don't know what you wore. I don't remember seeing you. Why do people think that other people are thinking about them all the time? It's fascinating.
Was this the wedding we went to together in Arkansas?
No, it was a different wedding I went to this May. And I was, seriously, I didn't remember her name. I didn't remember I'd seen her at the wedding. I certainly didn't remember.
I didn't even know this person.
Apparently I do, but I don't know how. Because I texted my friend and I was like, who is this person?
Weird.
And then she like led me through because I thought it was another person. You know, I don't pay attention. So it was a different person, but I just walked away from that conversation. And I would say the whole thing, the whole interaction lasted less than 1 minute because I immediately, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to go to the bathroom.
That's growth. That is growth. See, that's the kind of energy I need for you to have when we go out together.
On an Irish exit? Yeah.
Yeah, that's growth, that you were able to, oh my God, I need to go to the bathroom and get away from that. That's weird. People are weird.
That's weird.
So weird.
But then it stuck with you for so long,
really
so that's not a minute.
conversation.
It's like
And the
days.
sad thing is, even though it was only a minute, you'll never get that minute back.
No,
And even sadder, all of our listeners are never going to get these 3 minutes talking about it.
No, I'm taking everybody down.
Everybody's going down with this dress.
Yeah.
But no,
It's
I think
weird.
that's a very relatable story where you found yourself in a situation where somebody is talking about something that's uber important to them and you have no idea what they're talking about or no idea who the person is.
Yeah.
Oh, Fox did a digital feature of me. This is a paragraph that is hilarious that I want to read to you guys. Okay, so this is a paragraph from the Fox News digital hit piece on me, which I thought this was beautiful journalism. Welch has claimed Charlie Kirk, quote, justified his own assassination with staunch support for the Second Amendment, accused his widow, Erica Kirk, of being a, quote, opportunistic grifter, referred to white Americans as crusty white people, said Trump supporters shouldn't be allowed to eat in Mexican restaurants, referred to White House senior advisor Stephen Miller as a Nazi Jew, and called Trump a teeny weeny custard cock piece of shit, among many other profane insults. And what I have to say to this is I triple, quadruple, infinitely doubled on. I thought that was beautiful journalism coming out of Fox News Digital to quote me so beautifully, and to think that like those are all insults to me, that like, oh my God, can you believe she said that? It like, my message is resonating.
Yes.
It
Clearly.
It really overarcs with your message of teeny weeny, because that made it in there. And I do think Charlie Kirk, he justified his own death. As sad as it is, he did. He fought for Second Amendment right and said we have to have arbitrary killings in order for people to have guns. Interestingly, about Charlie Kirk, the co-founder of Turning Point, his benefactor, financial benefactor, died of COVID. So two of the things that Turning Point really advocated for, guns, everybody needs guns, nobody get a vaccine, nobody wear a mask, killed them. They were killed by what they advocated for.
You know what's interesting to me is Charlie Kirk said that on his podcast about guns. People are going to have to die, but it's worth it as long as we get to keep our guns. And the Second Amendment, I mean, he said it. But when you repeat it back to people, that's when they're offended. I mean, when you put the mirror up to those views, they're fine with him saying it. They're all fucking in. But when you say, this is what he said, when you quote it, that's when they get mad. It's like the whole mirror situation.
All right,
Yeah, why do they get mad? If he said you should die, we should die for guns, and he died for guns, then he died happy. Because he died with the Second Amendment right. He said it's worth dying over. I firmly believe in the Second Amendment right, especially with ICE. I mean, our founders and our framers were so smart. Because no one should have the power. We're the only country in the world that is allowed to carry a weapon. And that's for self-defense. I don't have a gun, but there's a lot that goes into that. So, yeah, anyway. I don't really know. All I know of Charlie Kirk is I think it's very sad, and I think I really don't even know anything, but I think that it was part of a distraction to get the Epstein files away from Trump. I think, to get Trump off, like, the news out of the cycle. That's really what I think. I think so many of these shootings and these killings and these random chaotic events that have been happening nearly every single day is just to avoid the Epstein files. Yeah, let's see what was happening in the news around there. That was September, was that September 11th or September? That was September 10th. I went on my first sale that day. I remember. Okay. I'd never gone sailing before. It was really it was like one of the best experiences of my life. I could have died that day and been so happy. Okay.
What do you have for us today?
I've got a couple reviews for you. We'll start with a 5-star titled My Favorite Baddies, and Natalia writes, I'm a blue dot in a red state run by Mr. Kitten Heels, and this podcast continues to give me life. We need more baddies standing up against fascist MAGA freaks and the misinformation they spread.
Love it. Love it. Kitten
Love
Heels.
it.
What's Kitten
Baddies.
Heels?
You know, Kitten Heels just kind of fell off the national radar.
Yeah,
I
who's
mean,
Kitten
he
Heels?
thought he was going to be
I'm gonna look it up.
2024's big splash. He just wore those kitten heels out and just
I
went.
have a theory on this.
Who is
I think
Kitten Heels?
establishment Republicans that are going to plot a comeback after MAGA, and so they've just played dead during all of this, and then they're going to come out and they're going to be like, we've got to bring back the party of Reagan. We've got to bring back decorum. And it's Nikki Haley's going to do it. Kitten Hill is going to do it. Marco Rubio was going to have the biggest, most diabolical rebrand imaginable. He's going to say, I always knew Trump was Hitler. But I agreed to be Secretary of State to put up a guardrail. It is going to be the most nauseating, hypocritical rebrand bullshit seance with a Ouija board resurrecting Reagan and all this decorum. It is going to be the worst shit we've ever seen, and we will cover it voraciously on iHip News.
Yeah, and I just read an article about Nikki Haley that she said, you know, we've got to talk about affordability. The White House isn't talking about affordability and doing all this. And I just thought, here she is. She's coming back. Here she comes.
Well, and here's the thing. Like, the Democrats need to immediately have a response, a rapid response group to that and go, Nikki Haley channels Zoran Mamdani. Nikki Haley supports Zoran Mamdani.
Oh, God.
Do not let them take what Zoran did and on the shoulders of Bernie Sanders. I mean, to give credit where credit is due. And now they're racing in as fake populists. And the Democrats need to appropriately identify the lie that so many racist Republicans believe so that they can vote for racist shit, that Republicans are good with the economy. Oh, we just vote for business, for fiscal conservatives. We're all about fiscal conservatism. You know, because Republicans are, we just vote. You know, my husband's in business. He's an entrepreneur. Shut the fuck up. Your husband's a racist, pink arm, piece of shit. And you
Pink
know what?
arms.
You have to fuck him. The best thing you can do to fuck him would be to go vote for a Democrat. You know, I've had it. I'm ready. I'm ready for the Republican resurrection. I'm locked and loaded. I wish the establishment Democrats were, but they're too similar with them to be.
You know what I predict?
We need to start proactively beating up Kitten Hills. That note is a reminder. We need to start proactively beating him up.
Who is Kitten Heels?
Proactively browbeating Nikki Haley, because it is coming.
Santa, whatever, DeSantos, Florida.
I think about,
oh my God!
Like, here's my prediction.
That's funny.
They're going to be, every person that we know is a triple Trumper in our lives is going to try to revisit or rewrite history, and it's going to be like, you know, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, you're not going to be able to find more than like 1 million people out of the 77 million that will admit it. That's my prediction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they did a study on this in Nazi Germany where a journalist went back. I can't remember the time span, but it was, you know, a decade or something later, and he couldn't find any Germans that said they supported Hitler. And of course, statistically, there was.
Right.
Tons, but nobody would admit it. And
Wow.
here's the thing. Some people are already starting to do this shit right now. There's already the triple Trump regret. And it's like, I'm so
Oh, that's good.
sorry. You tripled. You tripled down. Like, there's no excuse for anybody, not one person that saw what happened on January 6th and then voted for him the third time. This podcast is supported by FX's Love Story, John F. Kennedy Jr. and Carolyn Bessette. The new
trying to get some less political ones. I've had it with survey abuse. You guys talk a lot about email and phone call abuse, and I'm here to say that we've got way too many surveys going on out there. I get that, like, you want me to leave a product review, that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're an automated robot that fixed my company's website, I don't need to leave a review for that. I also need to leave a review if I just placed an order at an iPad for your restaurant. I don't want to leave a review about that. That's not the worst one, though. That's not what pissed me off so bad I had to call you. What pissed me off was a couple of weeks ago, I got pulled over by a cop for doing an illegal U-turn. Fair enough. It was illegal. I knew that going in. But he pulls me over, lets me off with a warning, and as he's handing me back my driver's license, he also hands me a little business card with his name and a little QR code, and he says, hey, if you don't mind, as if he hasn't wasted my time already, if you don't mind, the police department would really like you to fill out a survey about your experience with me today.
No.
We're trying to improve our reputation.
No.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Are you
That's the
kidding
problem
me?
with the American policing system right now, is that we don't have enough 5-star reviews. Y'all know George Floyd didn't die that long ago, right? Like, I still remember that shit. Also, I'm not gonna leave a survey for getting pulled over. How good of a job can you do pulling me over and letting me off with a warning for a U-turn where nobody got hurt? I mean, for fuck's sake, I just had it with the
That's the
surveys.
craziest thing I've ever heard.
I completely agree with her. I got a survey from a pap smear.
No.
Like, yes, I want to go to the OBGYN for my annual exam. Pap smear, not enjoyable, not fun. When it's done, you don't want to think about it until the very next year. 3 days later, lo and behold, how was your experience at the women's hospital today? And I just want to be like, it was miserable. I hated every aspect of it. Don't hate the employees, but the experience of getting a pap smear is not enjoyable. In the least, you don't want to be reminded of it. You don't want to take a survey about it. You want to completely forget about it. Same thing with mammograms. I get these surveys. How was your experience at the radiology clinic? It felt like I was in a car wash and somebody rolled down the window and then they took the window and stuck my tit in it and just kept pushing the window up and up and up. And my tit just kept getting smushed. That's how the experience was. It's not 1 star, it's negative 500 stars. But I'm trying to prevent cancer. Why do we have to talk about this? Why do we have to survey about it? It's so annoying.
Yeah.
100% right. Have you ever heard of, I mean, I would think that inherently the police department would know every single one of their surveys is going to be a 0-star review, right?
Yeah.
Why would, I've never heard
Negative
that. And
stars.
then it's a grift. Did they give her the warning so that she would give him a 5-star review? Like,
Oh, probably.
And let me just tell you this. I mean, not to try to one-up Laura and Jennifer, I just had AT&T come out all this shit with my internet. They had to reinstall it, whatever. I'm sitting here at this very computer. Jennifer Kylie can verify. My doorbell rings. It was an in-person, how did it go? Which I thought was the weirdest fucking thing on the planet. Like, why are you coming to my house in the middle of the day to ask me about how my service was? Nobody wants to talk about the service after the service is over.
But you do love a survey.
I love a political survey. I will go all in on the political survey.
Wow.
I get them all the time. Democrats, Republicans, I get them from everywhere. And I'm just going to tell you this. This is as true as it can get. Every single survey that I get from the Trump camp, first of all, the questions are like, you believe that pedophiles should be in jail? Yes or no? You know,
Yes, you should be in jail.
You always have to agree with whatever. So, of course, I always say no, whatever. At the end, to make your survey count with MAGA, you have to donate money.
No.
You have to donate money if you want your voice to be heard.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's amazing. I in my upcoming book, I talk about the authoritarian religions and the grift nature of them. When I was always invited to go to fringe churches when they were trying to save me because I was the non-religious friend, I was always struck by the tithing. I was always struck by the blackmail of it, the threats, the emotional threats of it. You know, God wants you to give your money. And I always thought, God, this is really like not even kind of trying to hoodwink them. Like, it's just the tithing aspects of it were so gross. And so when they get this stuff from Trump, they're so primed because their pastors and their churches have been doing this to them their whole life. It's a very familiar.
This is sad. That's
thing,
sad.
having these figures of authority that you think are helpful to you when really all they're doing is fleecing you. And
Absolutely.
So this type of abuse is so familiar with the MAGA base because their pastors and their churches have been doing this to them for decades. And I'll say this once and I'll say it again to anybody who is a listener, who is religious, fine, that's great. If you go to a church and your church's goal is to expand and open up more churches, it's not a church. It's a business. And you're getting scammed. It is a scam business. There's no reason for a church to have 10, 20, 30 locations. And these churches that do that have billions of dollars in the bank, private planes, tax-free, and political agendas.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't go to
and
church.
I can confirm all of that. Like you said, you went into a church and it just was like, ooh, the tithing thing. that was just how it was. Like, I never even questioned it growing up. Because it was just baked in. So I think you're right.
Yeah, it's like the con is so obvious, but it's like, God will favor you if you tithe. And you would think that a church would be like, if your family is suffering now and you need money for childcare and you need money for food, by all means, do not tithe. We do not need the money. But it's the opposite.
Wow.
They like, you need to tithe the most.
Is that Southern?
When your money is the tightest, because that's when God is going to reward you. It's the craziest shit I've ever heard. It's the same shit that Trump does. But I mean, to a non-believer, non-indoctrinated person, it's so obvious that it's a scam and they're snake oil salesmen. But yet these mega churches are
mega churches
flourishing. And
wow.
I think what we're experiencing right now in the electorate is the mega church boom of the 80s. That generation is now voting. And they're all MAGA, all of them.
That's so interesting, Jen. I was just doing some research because from watching you guys, I've learned so much about flyover states, and I'm in New England. It is so cold out, you guys, and we had the craziest storm this weekend. It was awesome. 55-mile-per-hour winds, airports closed. I mean, it's just howling out there. I bought a little generator. Anyway, but we don't have, we had a communion basket, and I'm just learning so much about all of this. I've really never been to the South and I've been to California, but like coast to coast, not the flyover state. So it's really interesting. I feel bad that I yelled about the voting. Of course I have voter's guilt, but I truly believe that. I mean, it's a contradiction. I hope you check yourself, Jen.
It was. Remember the mega church boom? That's when all my peers were trying to drag me off to get me saved. You tried to get me to go to your fucking mega church. I'll never forget.
No, I mean, I just hadn't thought about the boom being in the 80s, and now I'm going over at my head, and that's exactly what it was.
Oh my God, have you guys been friends since you're little?
All right, listener, I'm
That's
sure a
so
lot of you
cute.
have non-stick pans.
Okay, buy a non-stick pan. Again, this is iHip News. I've had it with Jen and Pumps and their friend. I need to get her name.
A blue dot in crazy ass Florida. I live in one of the last Democratic strongholds in Florida, though. I live in Orlando, aka the theme park capital. I have a little girl. We enjoy going to theme parks. And I have fucking had it with MAGA matching family merch at Disney World. We were there a couple weeks ago. We're enjoying time with our little girl, disassociating, enjoying Mickey Mouse.
Disassociating.
Magic. A family of 12 walks by. Kids, grown-ups in Charlie Kirk memorial merch.
No.
At Disney World.
What?
Why? For what purpose? And
What?
It's crazy because liberals are the one indoctrinating their kids. I have fucking had it. I need Disney, all the theme parks, I need them to do something about this. It is an eyesore every time we go to the parks. It is so upsetting to see like little children in weird MAGA merch. I hate it. I've had it. I want to disassociate and enjoy the magical time with my little girl.
That is
and
so
I have to
fucked
be
up.
inundated with the fucking lunacy. I have had it. I love you guys. You give me sanity in this crazy time, in this crazy swampland. Thank you so much. You guys rock.
That's wild.
That's wild.
A whole family 12 deep in Charlie Kirk shit. That is like, it is such a cult.
Sounds like
And
they're
here's the
selling it
thing.
there. No?
The post-death Charlie Kirk rebrand has really been a flop. You know, they really tried with this funeral to make it this moment. And they went so hard with this nationally televised mega church, WWE, weird patriotic Nazi style funeral. It's really weird shit. I mean, the stuff that the speakers were saying,
I didn't see it.
Erica Kirk and Donald Trump weirdly embracing as fireworks were going off. And then you went in the audience, you had all the hand praisers. And this is something interesting in the Bible Belt that people have to understand. So I know a lot of Christians obviously living in the Bible Belt, but there's degrees of Christians. And so there's like the Episcopalians, the Methodists, the Presbyterians. And they would consider themselves the classy Christians.
Okay.
And universally, I always had a lot in common with them, even though I wasn't a Christian, because they hated the evangelicals as much as I did. The evangelicals are the trashiest branch of Christianity imaginable.
Okay.
There's this church I talk about a lot in Oklahoma City called Life Church, and we would
I've heard of Life Church.
Where Pumps went. And they're these really gaudy, huge,
Hold
big,
on.
ostentatious.
I gotta take this back because I really want to hear about this. I've heard of Life Church. I missed what you said, what Pump's church was, but it's fascinating. Yeah, because a lady over here is from that I was talking to on like the soccer field, one of the fields, a couple of years ago of football, was telling me had just moved from Kentucky, and she was trying to tell me about her son who was gay. This was years ago, and how he was so unaccepted there, and she was so happy that he could be himself here. And I was like, yeah, of course. But she said that the religion was so forced down your throat all over the place, like it was still like Footloose. So interesting. Okay, let me just hear what this is. Jen, you're so fun
to understand. So I know a lot
Please,
of
like
Christians, obviously living in the Bible Belt, but there's degrees of Christians. And so there's like the Episcopalians, the Methodists, the Presbyterians. And they would consider themselves the classy Christians. And universally, I always had a lot in common with them, even though I wasn't a Christian, because they hated the evangelicals as much as I did. The evangelicals are the trashiest branch of Christianity imaginable. And there's this church I talk about a lot in Oklahoma City called Life Church, and Crossings Christian Church, where Pumps went. And they're these really gaudy, huge, big, ostentatious, gross churches whose goal is to, produce more and more churches. And every time they have like it's baptisms, they do full-blown like Instagram reels of people getting dunked in the dunk tanks and stuff. And so I always found camaraderie with my friends that were Christian light, because the performative nature of these mega church evangelicals and how trashy it is was a unifying cause. And so as Turning Point and the Trump regime puts this trashy, even among Christians, the lowest of the low, the white evangelical megachurchers, they prop them up to the stage. There's been a backfire to that, because all the Charlie Kirk shit has kind of dropped from the news cycle. And also Turning Point's relevance is a total joke, because Erica Kirk has just continued this shameless grifting. And I think the religious Americans that aren't crazy Bible thumpers saw that. And it was a reminder, oh yeah, we fucking hate these people. These are the con artists. These are the people that hijacked our religion. These are the racist ones. So I think there's been a big backfire about the way they rolled out his post-death rebrand.
Yeah, I hope you're right, because that service, whatever you want to call it, rally, was very familiar to me, having grown up around that. But it was so offensive, but there was a certain sect of the population that was all in on it. They thought, yes, sir, my mother included, no doubt.
Well, what did he want?
Yeah, but I don't think they baked into the majority of Americans.
Right.
Are not familiar with that, with the cult sect of Christianity, where they do the hand raising and the pastor, has the headset, all that just cheesy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so gross.
Okay.
It's so cheesy. And it's such a part of the MAGA religious culture.
Absolutely. The Kylie.
Oh, what I was going to say, you're so right about, so I did a little research on what the evangelical base is like. They said 26% voting, I think down from like, I have to get the stats, but that they are the largest base. I checked ChatGPT. I actually had a great conversation with him about this, because it's so interesting. And that they just don't get it. They do not get that Trump is a total fucking con artist. And I remember when I didn't. So I'm trying to figure out how to crack that code because it's so, so sad that he's a fucking disgusting pig. And he's all over the Epstein files. How are they not looking at the Epstein files? How do they not know that? Because I don't think that people are just bad. If they knew who he was, there was never any indication of that. I remember hating Trump a long time ago, but that all went away because I couldn't stand Biden. So, the evangelical base, they are the tried and true. They vote the highest. They vote the most consistently, and 26% of the vote for the Republicans. So, very interesting.
Your pastor wear the
I'd be
headset
nicer.
microphone.
Yeah, he's got like the Britney Spears microphone. I remember.
Tape on with new
It's
tape.
Britney,
Yeah.
bitch.
I remember the moment. We were kind of early in the megachurch, and he wasn't super rich yet. You know, you watched that growth. I remember watching him get ripped, tanned, and get a stylist. Skinny jeans on, a nice new outfit every time. Like, I saw it happen.
Whole evolution.
Yeah.
Okay.
Started looking better. Probably started having an affair. You know, they say when you lose a bunch of weight, you start going to the gym. It's, you know, you can always kind of pinpoint that to the affair. So you probably don't know, but that's probably happening too, if I'm guessing.
I love Pam's just starting a rumor about
Yeah,
being a
look at-
church pastor right here on I've Had It. He fucks around on his wife. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm going
I'm
with
just
it.
telling you, 25 years in divorces,
Statistically.
both spouses. When you have a spouse that all of a sudden is going to the gym all the time, getting super ripped, buying new clothes, looking good.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The other spouse will sit in your office and say, that's when I should have known. That's when it happened. Because all of a sudden, all the shit that they never thought was important became important.
Yeah. They're on him,
I
cracking.
can't argue with that, Pumps.
Yeah.
I think that is some rock solid reasoning, and I think megachurch pastors are disproportionately cheating on their spouses per your evidence that you just submitted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's how
very
it is.
agreeable.
Okay.
I've never
The
been to a
last
mega
one
church,
is
but yeah.
D.
Hey Jen, hey Pumps, hey Kylie girl. My name is Dee, a fellow listener from California. And let's get into it what I've had it with. I've had it with desperate pick-me racist. It's look at me, wait, no, look at me, I'm a racist. Look, no, look, you're not looking enough, I'm a racist. It's the most annoying thing in the world. I like to call it Instagram racist because they always want likes and views for racism. It's like, girl, what you want, a fucking cookie because you're a racist? Like, we've had it. We've all had it. It's the most obnoxious thing in the world. I've had it. I hate it so much.
I don't even
I
know
hate
what
it so
that
much.
is.
And it's so shocking because as a young woman, to see so many of my fellow peers be pick-me racist, I'm like, okay, we get it. What do you want? A racist cookie? Because we have nothing else. We're trying to get through everything that you and your little fellow racists have put us through. We get it. You are the most vile human being on the planet Earth. We got it. I hate it. It's so annoying. I've had it. I've freaking had it. And for moving forward at this point, it's fuck them and fuck their lineage. Because what does an eagle say, Pumps? Fuck off. Thank you.
I just want to say, Dee, I hear your fatigue of that. And it just pains me so much that racism is so allowed and been so allowed, and so many people don't call out racists in this country, and now they're being rewarded. Racism is being rewarded and amplified in this administration, and I hear your fatigue, and just, you know, Black people have been on the front lines of the fight for equality in this country so much more than white people. It's not even close. And all we can do now is try to build legitimate allies that branch over for decades if we can save this country. And I just think we need to bring back cancel culture, and the pick-me racists need to be canceled.
Here's the thing. The racists have always been there, but they have been so emboldened with this administration and the people in it.
Yes.
And I am hopeful and optimistic that cancel culture will come back after this, because that shit's on the internet forever.
We need cancel
People
culture now.
that are so proud to be racist, at some point, history will not be kind to them. I hope their neighbors won't be kind to them, but I really believe that there's going to be the pendulum swing back. I'm hopeful anyway.
All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for all the calls. If you want to call in, it's not technically a phone call. Here's what you have to do. You have to go to Instagram and open up the DMs, and you'll see a little microphone, and you send a voice memo to @I've Had It Podcast on Instagram. And Kylie and Seth will mine all of these, and hopefully you can get featured. Again, go to Instagram @I've Had It Podcast and send a voice memo. That's all we have. We'll see you next Tuesday and Thursday.
Thanks, ladies. That was great. I mean, I think everyone's racist. I'm not a racist. I hate racism, but I'm sure I am, you know. It has been exacerbated by this group, and it's so sick. I can see the difference in my sons. Not they're racist at all, but the language, and they don't even know what they're talking about. They've never experienced racism really the way that I mean, I grew up in the 70s, 80s. By the 90s, we had really done a lot. So PC, yeah, politically correct. We could start there. Okay. Well, thanks, guys. Bye.